Hey everyone, my name is Keshav and welcome to the Buckner Project series on financial literacy videos. Each of y'all have bought stuff, whether it's toys or books, a soda at the gas station, or maybe a Slurpee, shoes, clothes, and everything in between. To buy something, you need money. And money is incredibly strange. It's hard to come by, and yet it's so easy to use. It practically disappears once you have it. Let's look ahead a little. First, we will talk about where money comes from and how banks can help you with your money. Then, we'll talk about budgeting. Is there something you want or need to buy? I bet there is. And in budgeting, you'll learn how to plan before you buy something. Have you ever heard of a bank account? Well, in savings and checkings, we will learn how bank accounts can help you save money, how to use checks, and even use an ATM card. And speaking of cards, have you heard of what a credit card is? How about a debit card? When we talk about credit, you'll learn about the whole world of loans and credit cards. And boy, it's fascinating stuff. So sit back, hold on tight, and enjoy the ride. First, a question. Where does money really come from? Do you know the answer? I'll give you a hint. It's printed at this location. I'll give you all a few seconds to think about it. Have you guys locked it in yet? If you guessed the U.S. Treasury, you're right. It all starts at the U.S. Treasury, which is a government department that is responsible for creating or minting coins and print bills for everyone else to use. A coin is something that's made out of metal, circular and really small, that counts as money. Think of a penny, a nickel, a dime, or a quarter when you think of coins. A print bill, on the other hand, is just your regular, old-fashioned green dollar bill. Whether it's $1, $5, $10, $50, or even $100, there are a lot of dollar bills in circulation. The money then gets distributed far and wide to businesses and places called banks. In a few minutes, we'll see how money ends up in your wallet. Let's talk a little about earning money. You earn money by doing work or a job. That needs you to have some good skills. And education is a very good way to develop those skills. If you see here, I've shown some examples of different jobs you can do, and below it, I've put an example of how much you can make. You can earn money by walking a dog, running an errand, washing a car, or babysitting your neighbor's kids, though most of y'all are a little too young for that. And below it, the estimate is kind of just an example. It's not, strictly speaking, the lowest you could make or the highest you can make. In any job, the wage you earn depends on your employer or the person who's paying you. Sometimes your employer might be a person who consistently pays you day in and day out, week in and week out. Think of working at a restaurant as an example of a consistent employer. Other people may be self-employed. For example, a journalist who sells his pieces to different newspapers is self-employed because he does his own work, and in some ways, he is his own business. Here's a question for you. If Patrick wants to wash cars to earn money, how many cars must he wash to make $27? Let me give you all a few seconds to come up with an answer. Are y'all close? Do you guys have your answers locked in? The correct answer is that he would have to wash 3 cars. In the old days, back when TV was in black and white, and you couldn't even watch this video on your computer or cell phone because those didn't exist. People used to store money in their house or under their mattress. But that isn't a particularly safe place, since it can get lost or a burglar could come in and steal it. If there's a water leak, all your money could get wet and destroyed. The same thing could happen with a fire. If a national disaster strikes, you could lose all of your money and your house, which compounds and makes things a lot worse. Losing all your savings is a terrible position to be in. Then banks became more and more popular as a place to keep your money safe while you're not using it. You can think of a bank as a safe place that helps keep an eye on your money while you're saving it. Banks give you all the tools you need for your money. You can choose to put your money into a savings account, and many banks pay you a little bit of money to keep it there. It's called interest, which is a very important term in money management. Wow, a chance to make money on your money. Isn't interest a fascinating thing? Banks also offer checking accounts so people can pay for things like rent, electricity, groceries, and other bills. Instead of paying cash, people pay with checks. Checks are really the same thing as cash, but they're safer to use and a lot easier than carrying money around in your wallet. Banks also make it really easy to get access to your money wherever you might happen to be. You can use ATMs, the phone, or even go to the bank. We'll touch on ATMs more in a later lesson. Banks can also help you buy very expensive things. Things that you would take a very long time to save for, like cars, homes, or an education. Banks may do this by lending the money in the form of loans and credit cards. We'll learn more about that in another adventure called credit, but you still have some time before that particular achievement gets unlocked. Have you ever wondered where money comes from and how it gets from one person to another? First, we know that money comes to banks from the Treasury. Now, let's see how money flows from person to person. Let's take an example to understand this better. Let's pretend that your grandparents give you $40 for your birthday. You don't want to lose it, so you take the check to your bank and deposit into a savings account. That bank is now paying you interest. So you're earning money. Cool. Now imagine that 2 months later, it's your mom's birthday. Being the nice son or daughter that you are, you go to the bank and withdraw $10 in cash, and then go buy your mom some flowers. Now your $10 is in the hands of the florist, who then deposits the money into her bank account. So you see, the money has moved in sort of a circle, from hand to hand, first to the bank, and then back again. We'll wrap up this session here. You've learned where money comes from and how it's earned. You've also seen that the more education and skills you have, the more money you can earn. And once you have money, banks are places with tools to help you manage that money. Thank you for tuning in for this lesson of the Buckner Projects series on financial literacy videos. We hope you enjoyed it, and as always, stay learning.